Hello everybody and welcome back to the final race of this WHF season. We're in a bit of a different one. It'll be explained shortly as to what's going on, but we're in the finale. It's Hungary and we're ready to go. Well, we're hungry for some racing. Okay, I messed up that joke. I shouldn't have even bothered about trying it in the end. But yeah, no, we're ready to go racing here tonight for the final time this season before we move in to the new regulations of cars as of next season. 10 drivers currently in here. We may get a few more joining later on. Unsure of that at the moment, but we are joined once more by Jiggle in the commentary box. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, what I saw in the Discord server that they had said the final round would actually be in Hungary. I thought, what the hell we're missing out on the final four rounds, but this does actually turn out to be a very interesting finale, especially in the driver standings where the Car Geek and Big Roots are only 5 points apart, making this the most important round of all. Every single position will matter, especially qualifying, where pole position does get you an extra point.
Definitely, and well, you feel that the two of them are going to absolutely send everything at each other this evening to try and win this race. And, with that, could we see a little bit of contact between the two of them?
I think it's definitely inevitable to see some shenanigans going on between them two. But they're not going to be the only ones pushing to win a title. Ferrari and Aston Martin are also each in the fight for the Constructors' title. Ferrari leading the way from Aston Martin by 15 points. However, Haas and Alpine also quite a bit further back, but they are still mathematically in it. But with only one Haas driver and one Alpine driver compared to two Ferrari and two Aston Martins, it's not looking likely for Haas and Alpine to make a fight for it. So Ferrari and Aston Martin, 50 points in it. The fight is still on for them.
Definitely, as I am currently looking for the points format, because I know it's a bit of a different one. It's not the generic points format, it is a different points format that we have here in WHF. As I'm just looking for that, as we have Creamy 27.010 through that first sector. And we could see someone like him or even Arrow, both show good pace, get involved in this title fight, and perhaps throw a spanner in the mix for Big Roots and the Car Geek this evening as well.
Well, absolutely, as we are beginning to see some drivers beginning their opening laps of the session, as Arrow immediately spinning coming out of turn one, already down. Already adding to his counter of spins this season. Streak continues.
I'm definitely going to see if anywhere gets full race replays posted. I think there is on the YouTube. As Creamy goes provisional pole, or goes fastest currently, as we'll see if he stays fastest throughout the session, as Ansu into second, half a second behind him as things stand. But as I was about to say that, I'm gonna, as long as Arrow's okay with it, I'm gonna ask him in the next couple of days when I get a day off work. I'm gonna go through every sort of like full race replay stream, whatever you want to call it, and just make a compilation of Arrow spins to see how many he's had this season.
Literally about to say, I thought it would be funny as well to make a compilation of every single Arrow spin this season. That would be hilarious to watch.
As Big Roots, one of the championship contenders, has crossed the line for his first lap of the qualifying, and he's 0.240 off Creamy at the top. But whether or not Big Roots was full pushing on that lap, we'll have to wait and see as the session progresses. But do you have any predictions for what pole could be tonight?
Honestly, Jedi, this is not a track that I would drive. I absolutely despise it. I would expect pole to be somewhere in the mid to low 15s, if I'm honest. I mean, looking at Creamy's time there, it's a 16th flat, and that's only a banker lap. So we're definitely going to see 15s at some point in the session. So it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's just certainly right there. You know, I'm gonna. Oh, as I've just switched to Arrow, and Arrow is sideways once more after purple sector 1.
Great timing.
That was brilliant timing. I don't think I could have had better timing if I tried there.
That's another one for the count.
I was looking for who was I can't remember. I was looking for someone who was on a lap. See if anyone's on a lap. I see Arrow's purple sector 1. I'm looking at the minimap, and then next second I look at the rest of the screen, and he's just sideways off the track. Sci-Fi Mega Hype, he's on a lap. What can the South African do on this lap? Oh, jeez, that's caught me off guard there now. As I was trying to say, I think I'm going to one-up you with that. I reckon it's going to be a high 14 pole position tonight.
Oh.
I'm going this based off the fact that other places I've commentated, obviously I'm not going to name drop anything, but other places I've commentated who their drivers are similar to pace, the top drivers are similar pace to like Big Woods and Alfie, Car Geek, whatever you'd like to call them. I've seen them doing sort of high 14s, so I think someone could sneak into there tonight.
Well, we'll have to see. We have almost 12 minutes of qualifying to go. Alfie, speaking of, hasn't actually left the pits yet.
Very interesting indeed. But he may have something up his sleeve.
Yeah, maybe
You never
waiting
know.
a bit later on. Maybe trying to wait for the track to get a little bit better. Maybe he's being a bit daring and leaving it to the last minute to set his one and only lap. We'll see where it goes. Maybe he's even just having some technical issues, or maybe he's like in the bathroom.
I mean, that's a possibility. You do see drivers, doing stuff like that in races. As I think I found the points format at last.
Oh, lovely.
Only took 8 minutes of this session. We're riding on board with Rossi as he's about to start his lap now. Here we go. So 25, 21, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the points format.
So small gaps in between positions.
Certainly small gaps in between positions, which will mean that if who currently is Big Woods, who currently leads who's currently chasing the championship, if I'm correct. That's race results. It is Big Woods chasing, who is 5 points behind. So Big Woods would say he wins the race. He'll need Car Geek to finish 3rd position at least if Big Woods is to win the championship.
Yeah, I think you mean at most.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
at most.
At most. If it's at least, then well, Alfie will be a little bit screwed there.
As Rossi to the line for his first lap of the session, it's 1 minute 17.046 for him. As we do have Alfie on his outlap about to start a lap. We'll keep an eye on that, but we're going to go with Creamy, who is down on his time. Pipe Tech about to start a lap. We have the Ferrari of Arrow. Can he finally get a good lap time on the board here? No pressure on the Irishman.
Yeah.
On the Ferrari. In a bit of a constructors fight as well, so definitely no pressure. 12.9 seconds up on his time, which you'd hope to see really with it being 1 minute 30.5. But into the final couple of corners now. What can he do?
Yeah, of course.
Rounding the final corner now.
For Ferrari, not much pressure. The gap is 15 points. It's just really need to score points. Arrow up to P3. It's a 3-4 for Ferrari. SMR still 6 and 11. Andre yet to set a time. stays like this, they'll be guaranteed to get that Constructors' Championship title. Really little pressure with such a huge gap.
As Andre up into 7th, knocking his teammate Pipe Tech down. As I don't think Ansu improves as Rossi into the pit, and we're going to have Alfie now to the line. It's a 1 minute 16.229, just getting himself in ahead of Big Woods.
But yeah, of course, already making a statement, getting right up ahead of Big Woods there, almost by half a tenth. So Big Woods is going to be chasing that on his next run whenever he comes out of the pits.
Certainly. As do you think any of those in the pits goes for another run now, or in the next couple of minutes, or do you think they're all now waiting for that final sort of 3 or so minutes to make their final runs in the session?
Well, I certainly think he could definitely squeeze out a lap here, but of course you don't want to rush anything, especially if you spin or get some damage, you're slow to come back into the pit. So I think the safe option is to wait it out. But if you're really desperate to get a lap in, you certainly could squeeze one in.
As we're talking about this, Big Woods has exited the pit lane, and he is going to try to squeeze one in, so we'll see. Can he come up with anything big in this situation?
Oh, I see what you did there.
I've been wanting to squeeze that one in all season long.
Sci-Fi Mega Hype up to the line. Almost no battery left in the tank whatsoever. Stays P10. He's quite a bit off the pace there.
Interesting, but everything can work out for him in one lap, so I mean, for all we know, everyone ahead could get disqualified and he could be on pole.
Very much. I mean, that's very unlikely, but certainly possible, as the pair of Williams have decided to join us quite late into the section. Only 6 minutes remain. They'll be looking to get out of the pits, set a lap as soon as they can, or maybe they'll just wait and set a singular lap.
That's a bit of a risk, waiting to set a singular lap, but with this long, or with this short left in the session, I personally, in this situation, would wait it out, as Arrow is on an outlap now, as that is Creamy also going for another lap, so we'll see if they can squeeze another lap in after this. But Big Woods, 200ths up in the first sector, as he has a bit of a slide out of the left-hander there, managing to just keep it under control, but has that cost him time, and can he get up ahead of at least his championship rival Alfie?
Yeah, he did put in a purple sector 1 there, but that slide, and he's still struggling just a little bit. You can really see it. That may lose him some time, going almost at the white lines there. The battery less than
almost
10%.
10th down. If I was in his position here, I would back out of this lap, come in the pits, get ready for a final run.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Oh, except he's missed it! He's missed the pit
We talked
entry.
about a big moment. That's not what we meant.
He's forced to finish the lap a 10th down. Well, a second and a 10th down on his best.
I mean, this is a short lap here, so of a minute 16. He theoretically has time to come in the pits and out again.
He definitely would.
It's just, does he rush the prep for his final push lap if he does that?
Oh, well, in terms of prep, I mean, there's not much you really need to do in order to warm up the tires, especially around the game. He's really rushed to get back into the pits, so it seems like his fuel light is on, so definitely trying to get to the pits before his fuel runs out, though it seems like he has.
As now Arrow is just under 3/10 up in the first sector. That Ferrari is starting to fly in this session.
Yeah, certainly. I've noticed he uses hot lap on his ERS strategy when qualifying. Oh, he's gone half a second up. He's gone purple sector 2 as well. This could be a stormer of a lap if he keeps it clean throughout the final corners. Will Big Woods get out of the way? He will. He's into the pits. Won't get dirty air. To Arrow. Up to the line. 20% battery. Up to the line. He goes pole. It's fastest by 2 tenths for Arrow.
Well, Creamy is 3 tenths up in the first two sectors and takes that straight back with 1 minute 50.767.
Yeah, it's really the smallest of margins there for Arrow and Creamy. Alfie and Big Woods, of course, their fight is not with the top two, but of course the extra points would not hurt.
As during all that, Andre up into 6th, we have Ledgerman, who's invalidated a lap. He'll go for another one. He has the time to go for another one. Ansu next, just under 3.5 tenths up to the line, finds almost 6 tenths and goes into 3rd in behind his teammate Arrow once more.
Yeah, Ferrari's always looking incredibly strong. It's just, can they keep that up in the race space? Creamy, of course, having the time of his life. Really good qualifying so far. He's been pole on almost every single lap that he's taken.
I mean, obviously Creamy, I don't think he's been racing the entire season. I think a couple of races he missed as the Ledgerman. Once more, just invalidating in that chicane. It's a difficult chicane to master, certainly. So the way I was taught is to turn in early to it, but if you turn in too early, you do what the Ledgerman's just done and basically cut the entire thing. So, yeah, this isn't a track I like to drive as Sci-Fi Mega Hab, but Sci-Fi Mega Hab has a little bit of a slide out to the left-hander after the chicane. You know, this is... I'm a bit like you, I hate driving this track if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's certainly incredibly awkward as Andre returns from the section from P6. Seems to be banking on that. He won't be doing it another lap anytime soon. That will be his best possible position unless the drivers behind him can set a lap better.
Sci-Fi Mega Hype to the line, 1 minute 17.7 for him. As we have Ledgerman about to start a push lap as well, so we're right on board with him. There's a minute left of the session and there's a few drivers who aren't moving out of the pits.
Yeah, there might be, or maybe Creamy seems to be banking or just hoping that he can keep that pole position, that provisional pole position, I should say. Maybe something has gone wrong for him and he just couldn't get out in time, but this is going to be a huge risk because Arrow already so close to him. He could really take that pole position away.
I mean, Arrow has 27 seconds to make a second and a half around this lap. I don't think Arrow's going to make it to line. I think Alfie has the best chance to take pole position here off anyone on track, or Big Woods, because they're both on their laps now. Arrow isn't going to make it to the line.
Yeah, Pipe Tech ahead of Alfie is already on his final lap. He's just under a tenth down at the moment, I believe. He's currently in Sector 2, although he's currently P9, almost, well, over 1.5 seconds off the pace. Doesn't seem like he'll be moving up to pole. So it's all down to Alfie.
Yes, Pipe Tech 6 tenths up, Ledgerman crossing the line, 1 minute 18.4. He will start from 11th. His teammate Page will start from 12th. Sci-Fi Mega Hype into the pits. Where can Pipe Tech put the Aston Martin? Can he put it on the same row as his teammate? He does one better than his teammate, up into 6th for now. Alfie 3 tenths up at the moment, almost 4 tenths. Can he find enough time in this final sector to take provisional pole? As down to the line, he misses out narrowly. Big Woods is down and invalidated. Rossi to the line, jumps up to 7th. Hammer Joe will be the last one to the line. 4,000s up in the first sector, or first two sectors, sorry.
Around the final corner. His battery still on the overtake mode. That was a poor exit. They're not getting on throttle close enough. P9 is the best Hammer Joe will be able to produce, and that is your qualifying Alfie. In P2, Big Woods in P5. That will be detrimental to Big Woods' confidence.
Certainly, as the gap between the top three, 0.035. Arrow and Alfie, 0.004 separating them two. That was a much closer qualifying session than I thought at the top.
Yeah, certainly. But when you look at P4, 5, and just downwards, the gaps really start to become a lot bigger. But considering the top four, this has been incredibly close. And it's Creamy will take the pole position point, and now we'll have 26 points in play for the race, including the fastest lap.
As I'm going to hand over to you for the rest of this, and I will be back in a minute.
For the rest of this, like the rest of the race? Alright then, well, here you are. The results are here. Creamy takes pole position by under half a tenth. Alfie, considering his championship hopes, will join him on the second row of the grid. Arrow and Ansu with a 3-4 for Ferrari, and Big Roots, Alfie's championship contender, will take P5 on the grid. As we now prepare for the race start. Just for context, Big Boots is 5 points behind Alfie. So you will need Alfie to drop down several positions. And Big Boots will need to climb several positions if he wants any chance at winning the championship. As it stands, if Ferrari finish in this position, they will win the Constructors' Championship ahead of Aston Martin. And it seems like Jedi is back.
I am, thank you for taking over there. As being in the Twitch saying he's raced Alfie here and he has a very sound battery strategy here, it works very well. That's an interesting thing to take into account in this race. So, Alfie with very good battery strategy that works well here. We'll have to see if he can make that work in this race as well.
The major disadvantage for Big Rooster to be starting several positions behind Alfie. This is a very difficult track to overtake at. The only real overtaking opportunities that I can really think of is turn 1 and 2. So recharging the battery should be easy enough.
Someone else saying, important for the pit straight, the battery certainly is here. That's sort of where the bulk of overtakes get made here down that pit straight. So we'll just have to see how this goes tonight as well, last race in the 2025 regulations of cars. Who do you think's favourite to win this race?
Oh, well, it's certainly going to be between Creamy and Alfie. I mean, of course, I am enjoying Alfie's chances. He's won a single race, I believe, so far this season in Belgium. It was, yes, it was. Creamy, I believe, hasn't really raced that much this season. Unless I'm wrong. He has. Wait, no, I'm wrong. Creamy hasn't won a race this season, I meant to say. So the pressure could be on there.
I'm going to go with a bit of a different one. You know, we've joked about him all season.
Oh.
He's got 2 race wins under his belt. I'm going to... qualifying looked promising for him. If he can go without mistake, I'm going to be honest, I think Arrow can win. The 2 races he's won this season, he's won by relatively good gaps, 31 seconds last week. And back in round 1, he won by, well, 16 seconds. So, I'm going to be brutally honest, I think Arrow could snatch a win tonight.
He certainly could, and yeah, as you said, both of his wins have both been in pretty dominant fashion, but of course, Arrow, as we know him, does tend to make some big mistakes. He did so in quali, however, that was his banker lap. Here we go.
As to 5 red lights for the final time. In this regulation, car is the lights out, and away we go for the Hungarian Grand Prix and the final round of the season. There's already a drive-through penalty for Ansu for jump start. That's not good for the Ferrari team in this Constructors' title fight. But into turn 1, Alfie going side by side with Creamy. Big Woods trying to make it around the outside of Arrow. Arrow already with a slight mistake. Rossi now also going up past Arrow. Down towards turn 3. Alfie up into the lead. Creamy dropping to second. Big Woods is now going to try and make his way past Creamy as soon as he can. But Alfie already 6.5 tenths, going towards 7 tenths lead over Creamy, and Creamy is under pressure from Big Woods.
Yeah, this has been a stellar start from Alfie, but more importantly, Big Woods has also moved up into P3. There's only one driver. It's Creamy in between them both. However, if Big Woods wants to win the championship, he not only has to get in front of Alfie, he'll need Alfie to drop several positions behind him for the championship win. Ferrari having a horrible start. Arrow down into P5. Answer with the drive-through penalty. He'll want to get rid of that as soon as possible, as Rossi already going side by side with Arrow, as Arrow will make the move, or almost touching there, as Arrow will go up into P4.
Yes, Arrow now pulling back a little bit of what they lost at the start, as Ledgman dropping down to 12 there behind his team as he's now into the pits. Ansu in to serve that drive-through penalty. It's going to put Ansu down to 11th. The two Aston Martins in P6, P7. Not really getting the start they would have needed to try and jump Ferrari to win this Constructors' title.
Not necessarily, but even the fact that they have both of their cars in the points could already be enough. However, Arrow in P4 is still a dangerous position for Aston Martin. They'll definitely want to make up some more positions if they want to challenge Ferrari.
Definitely, and I get the feeling that both Aston Martins need to finish ahead of both Ferraris, but with Arrow's pace in qualifying, if he can pull that back, I have the feeling that's going to be very hard for the Aston Martins to do tonight. As we ride on board with Big Woods chasing down Creamy, Alfie with a 1.5 second gap out in the lead already, as he's starting to cruise in this early stages, but doesn't mean it's going to be like that for the entire race. We'll see what Big Woods has in store when he gets back, but just looking on the steering wheels at the battery, Alfie has sort of over 3/4 of the battery. Big Woods has a less than half. I can't see Creamy's because of the camera angle, but Alfie new fastest lap of the race. Arrow taking the fastest lap of the race after that. Arrow is trying to drag himself back into contention for a podium here, as Big Woods down the inside of Creamy. Little bit of contact between the two of them, nothing too bad. Big Woods down the inside, he's got the DRS, he's going to pull ahead. And Big Woods is up in second, and he's now setting his sights out for Alfie ahead, but does Creamy have a response?
Doesn't seem like it, as now Big Woods will have to make the chase down for Alfie, which the gap has been reduced by almost half a second now. Alfie may have had a small mistake there, or maybe he's recharging the battery, but nevertheless, that's allowing Big Woods to have a chance to get into DRS of Alfie. Yeah, he is recharging, you can see from the blinking lights on the back of the Haas. So, Big Woods has the opportunity to get within that 1 second window. But, as I said before, Alfie would need to drop several positions for Big Woods to win the championship.
Yeah, now, if Creamy and Arrow can sort of stay in DRS and try to keep himself in DRS of this, you have the feeling that the slightest of mistakes from Alfie is going to cost him the championship. He's just... I mean, he can afford to drop down to second. If he goes to second, Big Woods doesn't win the championship, even if he wins the race. So, you know, Arrow's going to have a look down the inside of Creamy here into turn 1. What can the Ferrari do? Up into 3rd place. Does Creamy have the best traction on the outside? He seems to, because Arrow's dropped back behind him again. As Arrow now going to the inside. He's going to send a bit of a lunge, bit of contact between the two of them. This is going to bring Rossi towards this battle. As what's your thoughts on that overtake there?
That was definitely a little bit sketchy there from Arrow. However, I do think there won't be any real complaints there to the stewards. I believe that was just about clean enough to let go. However, if that does get reported, it will be a little bit nitpicky, but I don't think it's a penalty.
Yeah, I get that. He's gone late on the brakes to try and make the lunge. I don't think he's outbraked himself as such. I mean, he's not completely forced Creamy off track, which,
Yeah.
you know, that's a start. As Arrow, I thought he spun there for a second.
Oh.
I had it ready to say, but he didn't spin it. But that has cost him time, as further back, Hammer Joe making it past Sci-Fi Mega Hype. That's for 8th position, as Sci-Fi Mega Hype does have some damage.
That's very interesting, as we do have someone going slowly there.
That is Ledgman in the Williams. No visible damage for him. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that as Rossi and Andre swapping positions and then swapping positions back again. Rossi, 1.5 off his teammate now. His teammate Creamy is right in behind Arrow. And you have the feeling Creamy is going to try and want to make a move in the next lap or so. But Big Wood 6/10 now behind Alfie. As we're right on board with him as Alfie is still recharging as that red light on the back of the car is still blinking. Is Alfie possibly just toying with Big Woods a little bit? Recharging that battery, making sure he has the battery to fight it down the main straight, because, I mean, the best way to describe this and what I've heard a lot of people say Hungary is basically Monaco with the walls further away.
Well, I mean, it's certainly, I don't believe he's really toying with him. I think overdriving the car, trying to build the gap up this early in the race would be a little bit silly, pushing the tires hard. Not really worth it on the strategy. Of course, the gap is still just over a second. We'll see if Big Boots can get within the second to get DRS. It doesn't seem like he will. But of course, Alfie, I think he's really charging the battery just in case Big Boots does manage to get the gap down, just to, you know, build the battery up, try to defend on that main straight, because we know how notorious the main straight is. It's the bulk of overtakes, as you said earlier. I think it's really just a defensive mechanism, just to guarantee to not lose the position.
Yeah, definitely. As it's gonna be interesting now. Arrow is closing in on Big Woods. Creamy staying with Arrow. I'll be interested to see if either of these two try to attack Big Woods and just, you know, if Big Woods is having to then defend, it's going to give Alfie a chance. So, Big Woods 3-second time penalty, that's not what he wants to see in this race.
That's going to be really huge for his hopes at the championship. That's not going to help him at all. But of course, if Big Woods does want Alfie to drop several positions, he'll need to overtake Alfie and then hopefully try to back him up into the drivers behind. But doing that while winning the race with a penalty will prove incredibly difficult. Alfie, on the other hand, will be absolutely gleaming with joy.
Yeah, it's I need to sneeze before I say anything, but I don't think the sneeze is coming. But interesting insight from Bean here. Alfie likes to recharge from most of the lap and then dump the battery from the main straight to turn 1 and then run down to turn 2 as well, which is obviously the main overtaking zones as we've talked about in this race. So Big Woods wants to make a move. He's going to have to get close enough to make the move somewhere else on the track and get creative with it.
Yeah, the gap hasn't been under half a second yet so far in this race. I mean, as I say that, it does. But regardless, he hasn't really had a chance to overtake Alfie yet. Of course, he is charging the battery. So hopefully, maybe he could send a little bit of a dive bomb down into turn 1, or maybe even earlier if he wants to be bold and daring. However, I'm not seeing an overtake coming anytime soon.
No, definitely not. As I think when we get into that final sector, Alfie just looks a lot more comfortable on track. I mean, Big Woods obviously got that 3-second penalty, which shows that he's been pushing the track limits to, well, beyond the track limits. But Alfie, he's not overdriving, as you said earlier. He's doing what he needs to do in this race, and as long as he sticks to doing what he needs to do, it's his race to really lose at the moment. As, I mean, Big Woods, over 4/10 away from him by the end of the main straight down into turn 1. And yeah, just Big Woods cannot get, well, you said below half a second. Now it's below 4/10 away as Ledgman is facing the wrong way once more.
Not the race we would have wanted. The Williams pair in last place out of the running cars, page P11. Both Williams out of the points. Not the race I'll be looking for today. Both incredibly far away from the rest of the pack. Of course, adding on to what you were saying before, I think Alfie, he has let Big Woods into his DRS. The screen went a little bit wide there. That might have been a warning. But I think Big Woods' performance will also be affected by that penalty. His confidence may have gone down. leading him to being a little bit careful. Who's that? Ansu! Looking the other way round on the track, and he's sort of driving it
Oh,
into the wall. He's got damage.
that's unfortunate for Ansu, and that is throwing more shade on Ferrari's race. As someone said, Alfie made a mistake up the hill, so it's interesting. We'll keep our eyes on if he's going to make any more mistakes, but Alfie looks composed in this race. He looks more composed than Big Woods does in this situation.
Yeah, it certainly does. Big Goose is going to be trying to throw absolutely everything at Alfie, but I think more importantly, we have the Aston Martin pair still trying to get past Rossi. They've had a few position swaps. Andre has been sending it down turn one, but Rossi has been defending it like a champ. They can't get anywhere near the V-carb as Rossi gets a 3-second penalty right as I say that. They don't even need to make the pass anymore.
Every time either of us say something in this race, something just goes wrong. Just something keeps going wrong in this race. I think we're just cursing all the drivers today.
Oh, I really hope that.
I hope not, but people who say the commentator's curse doesn't exist, I think this race has already very much proven it does.
I don't think I've seen Arrow spin yet in the race so far. I think it'd be really unfortunate if he did. And now,
It
now
certainly
we wait.
doesn't spin it in the race today.
Now we wait. Arrow actually.
Well, I mean, he's close enough to this lead battle where if he does spin in the background, we will see it. As talking about spinning in the background, that's Rossi in the wall, no from wing on the Racing Bulls car now. And he's down to 8, and I don't know what's happened there. I don't think there's contact. I think he's just lost it on traction out of the corner.
Oh, that's a virtual safety car. That's Arrow! Arrow spun it!
It's as I see Rossi with damage in the background, I switch to him. I'm still looking at his car, and then Arrow spins, we missed the spin.
Oh, we missed the spin. I can't believe. Maybe someone got a clip of that. Maybe Arrow would be kind enough to provide a clip of that. However, he does have serious wing damage. So we will have to come into the pit, of course. Green flags now. So Arrow is going to need to make his way back to the pits as quickly as possible as to not lose too much time. Of course, Big Woods will be happy with the VSC. He'll be a little bit close to Alfie. However, 7/10 still coming into the final sector. A little bit of a spin there from him. It's going to be an interesting few laps.
It certainly is. Andre now past Arrow. Pipe Tech now past Arrow. Oh no, sorry, not Pipe Tech past Arrow. I thought he was going to go for the move. He decided against it. Obviously, realising Arrow's wing damage, not wanting to go for anything risky as Arrow does run a bit deeper there. But it's now, as momentum does swing in races, as it does in anything, it's swung the way of Aston Martin and the constructors now.
Yeah, certainly advantage to them so far. Arrow forced to pit due to that spin. Aston Martin 4 and 5 currently. Ansu nowhere to be seen in the pointers, 28 seconds off P10. This is looking like Aston Martin's to win.
It certainly is, but anything can happen, as Bean has said. In the space of just 2 seconds, it's gone mental, and that is the fun part, in my opinion, about commentating. It can be a calm race, nothing can really be happening, and then next second,
Everything.
it just goes mental. Everything happens at once.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron's going to be very happy with me when he watches back the stream and sees that kind of cursed him.
Apologies, Arrow. We just had to make sure it happened in the race. I'm joking. No, it's been the running joke of this season for sure, and
It's happened in qualifying, it's happened in the race. Seems to be a little bit bad.
I'd love if someone in the Twitch chat right now watching the stream at home, as the leaders are into the pits after 11 laps on their medium tyres.
Yeah, I mean, maybe for Arrow it'll work out to be a nice undercut.
Certainly could be. We'll have to just wait and see how it works out. As hard's going on to both of the cars, and now exiting the pits, they will come out
in the same order.
with Sci-Fi Mega Hype separating them.
It's going to be really interesting. Sci-Fi Mega Hype on the older tires. But if Big Luis doesn't get past him here, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He'll be losing so much time. He won't be able to get past Sci-Fi Mega Hype. He will be stuck behind the Mercedes unless he can make it stick. Oh, that's damage on the front of the Alpine.
It is only an end plate missing, but is that, or is he's running wide? How much is that going to cost him now?
That's
We'll just have to wait and see. He's already dropping over 2 seconds behind Alfie now.
yeah.
And that's the last thing he wanted to happen in this race. You could see him pushing to get out of that pit as fast as he could straight ahead of the Mercedes, but he just couldn't.
Yeah, he's really desperate to get past the Mercedes. It led to him getting damaged and possibly a warning when he went wide there. Putting up the dummy. Huge lockup there. That's not going to be kind to his tyres. Sends it down the inside. Is that more damage? He sends both of them
I
off.
think that is. No, it's not.
Doesn't seem to be as
He's
he
into the
pits. So that clearly did seem to be damage as he now pits again. This is going to be horrible for the Alpine driver as he retires from the session.
And that, well, that's one championship now decided tonight. We've just got to decide one more. And that's... I understand this frustration there, but...
22 laps remain as Big Luis retires, and that makes Alfie Nerfboy, the car geek, your season... Which season is this? 3, right?
Oh god, oh god.
I butchered it, I butchered it.
It's tier 3, it's tier 3. Let's just find the season. Jesus.
Doesn't matter. You do it now, I can't do it now.
Oh god, I can't even find the calendar. Season 7.
Okay. Big Luis retires from the race after getting a huge amount of damage, making Alfie Nerfboy the car geek your season 7 tier 3 drivers champion. He's still in it to win the race, however, but all eyes now on the constructors. It's Aston Martin versus Ferrari. Is that better?
We got there eventually.
Is that good?
No. Yeah, just I don't know who edits the streams into the highlights videos. Cut the part where we messed up.
I think that's Arrow who edits them.
Oh, Arrow's definitely not cutting it. Just gonna leave the confusion. As being in all capitals, Alfie, my boy Alfie, as Rossi says, fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 19.8. 1 minute 19. I don't even know what the time was now. I seen an 8 in there somewhere. There was an 8 somewhere in all of that. As Alfie up past Hamajo, back onto the podium positions as he's closing in on Pipe Tech and Creamy, who are both still out on their mediums they started the race on.
Yeah, Arrow really with a quick pace already up to the back of Andre. It's going to be really difficult for them to get past Cypher Mega Hype now. Hopefully they don't get damaged as Big Woods did, as he's really blocking the road there.
Yeah, as Pipe Tech into the pit.
Arrow into the back of Andre, just got a slight bit of wing damage there. Trying to get past Cypher Mega Hype. He is now back down into P7. Arrow now has to spend the rest of the race with some front wing damage.
That is not what Arrow will be wanting in this race, but just glancing at the driver's chat, Big Woods is not at all happy. Driver causes damage to Big Woods' car. Yes, we've seen it, but I mean, I understand Big Woods' frustration. There's not really any battles going on. I mean, the closest drivers is Sci-Fi Mackay and Arrow is pulling away, so we'll just go off topic a bit. I understand Big Woods' frustrations. I honestly do, but you know, he wants to get past. You know,
yeah.
Some people, I'm just gonna say, some people would argue, you know, Sci-Fi Mackay, you know, he hasn't pit. He's not in a race with them. Why is he getting involved? Same between them and all. But at the end of the day, he's not being blue flagged, so he doesn't have to give up the position. Sarah running very wide there, down the hill into sector 3. But I mean, in my opinion, Sci-Fi Mega Hype, he possibly could have done more there. He could have. I'm not saying get out of the way and just let Big Woods through, but he was kind of all over the place, defending really hard for. Well, let's be honest. What isn't his race in this point, or at that point? If that makes sense.
I do see that. I mean, Sci-Fi Mega Hype has no business defending it that hard. He had 11 lap old tires against fresh tires at that point in the race, but at the same time, he's not obliged to let him pass. He could defend as hard as he wants. He can race as much as he wants. He has nothing really stopping him. If he wants to race him, that's his choice. Maybe he just wanted to affect the Drivers' Championship a little bit. Maybe he has a certain bias to Alfie there. Maybe he wanted him to win. But I think retiring from the race because of that seems, if I were to be blunt, I think it was a little bit immature there. Of course, there were like still 25 laps in that race. I think there was plenty of time to make a comeback. And just leaving the race just like that, it's just ruining all chances.
I mean, yeah, late safety car, or safety car at any point in the race, all it takes to completely change the tide of a race, you know. For example, Alfie could have pit, little Big Woods be ahead, have a free pit stop under the safety car, and Alfie, you know, be ahead of him. Alfie could then, you know, fall behind other people, have people in between. It wasn't a done championship at that point. You know, there's many different circumstances that could still have changed things.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there was so many variables that could have happened. I mean, Alfie could have made some mistakes. As on the track, we have Pytech and Sci-Fi Mega Hype battling out on the track. However, Pytech does manage to get through quite easily with his much fresher tires. And he gets gapped almost immediately. It's really strange for Hamajo and Sci-Fi Mega Hype to still be out on the track on their first stint. So is Creamy, 16 lap old mediums. Surely that's puncture territory.
You would have thought so, but I mean, he's in the pits now, so
Yeah.
as we say it, he's into the pits. But
And he's actually, he hasn't missed it this time.
was it Creamy who missed it? No, it was Big Woods who missed it in quali.
Oh, my apologies.
Getting drivers mixed up. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone everyone makes mistakes.
Still really odd for Creamy to box so late. It's allowed Alfie to completely catch up to him, and now he's going to be incredibly behind. Coming out in P5 with Pytech right behind him.
I just wonder if Creamy's idea is a one-stop. Try just spicing things up. Maybe, you never know. You know, I mean, I don't know if the one-stop's even possible here, but
Seems to be
he
going
might be
for it.
trying. As Big Woods is very annoyed right now is the best way to put it in chat. I've just been looking. There's been a lot said in chat.
Yeah.
Big Woods and Callum having a bit of a chat in chat. A bit of a chat in chat. I don't know why I find that funny what I just said. I didn't even mean to do it. As Arrow, 3-second time penalty for him. As Ferrari and Aston Martin are still fighting it for this constructors title tonight.
Yeah, but Arrow has made it back up to P3, although with that 3-second penalty, things are still up for change. Pytech down in P6, however, Hamajo still yet to pit out, promote Arrow to P2. So the fight for the constructors will be incredibly tight when we get to the end of the race, and that's someone off at the exit of turn 1 is Ellie's. Spun, looking the other way.
Quick one. Do you have Andre added because he's been disconnected and needs an invite? And I don't think I have him added.
I don't think I have them.
I will send my username in chat for him, so we can hopefully get him back in as soon as possible. But that is that. Particularly saying 20 laps on hards are possible. So yeah, Creamy, very much looking towards the one-stop strategy tonight. As Andre, if you're able to see chat, please send a friend request to the account I sent, and I will get you back in as soon as possible.
We have a three-way battle here. Coming out of the final corner is the two Aston Martins versus Creamy. Andre on the slightly older hard tires. Creamy with the DRS. Is he gonna put it down the inside? Yes, he will. Makes a clean move. Gets ahead. Moves up into P4 ahead of the two Astons. That won't be another opportunity for them to take the position back until we come back to the main straight.
Yeah, and that was a very good move from Creamy there as Ledgerman once more into the pit lane. So, Andre back in at last. He'll be thankful for that, as he's got a bit of work to do now to get back into giving Aston Martin a good position. But 15 laps to go in this race. We'll just have to see what them 15 laps can bring, as Hamajo still on the hards he started the race on. His arrow, that end plate damage, it looks to be costing him a lot in that right-hander down the hill.
Yeah, I don't think being stuck behind the McLaren is really doing him any favors either. Seems like Creamy and the two Astons might catch up to him at some point soon, as Hamajo does now come into the pits for his pit stop. He will have 14 laps of the mediums.
Which is certainly doable with what we've seen already in this race.
Yeah, you'll have
Going for the alternative strategy tonight was an interesting choice, but we'll just have to see how that plays out for him, as he will come out in 8th position.
Yeah, he's going to have the quickest tires out of the entire grid right now, as he comes out in P8 behind Sci-Fi Mega Hype, who has the worst tires out of everyone on the grid. 20 lap old hards.
That's interesting. We'll just have to see how this plays out now for the rest of the race, but I certainly think we'll see a few drivers making a second stop in this race.
Certainly, I think just unrelated, I think it'll be really interesting seeing that gap between Hamajo and Sci-Fi Mega Hype just quickly closing down with a huge difference in tires.
And as you say it, we see 4/10 go down in a matter of a few seconds as that continues to close down. Perfect time in saying that, actually, because it was hovering around 6.5 seconds, and as soon as you said it, it's now down to 5.4. So, I mean, yeah, we see as Sci-Fi Mega Hype is now into the pit lane, as he makes it around the pit lane, doesn't miss it like we've seen already happen today from drivers, however you want to say that. As we get Rossi coming down as turn 1, and in the background you can see Hamajo coming around that final corner onto the main straight. As Andre and Pipetech is now ahead of his teammate. Andre is obviously now back into the race, but what's your thought, or how do I word this question? No, I'm just going to say like I was going to say it, I don't know if it makes sense. What's your thoughts on the Pipetech Andre combination this season? How they've worked well, or how they've worked together as teammates?
Well, they certainly have. I mean, they haven't been getting into any scraps at all. They've been incredibly clean. They know their fight isn't with each other. They're not fighting for any drivers' championships, as Pipetech actually lets Andre through there. oddly enough.
That's interesting.
So yeah, they have been working really well together, not fighting each other at all, putting the team first, putting the team's interests at heart. They're fighting for the constructors, and that's what they're doing. As Arrow will now take the lead of the race as Alfie comes out P3 from his pit stop. That puts Andre and Pipe right behind him.
Yeah, Alfie coming out P3, I think it's just testament to the drive he's had today as Rossi now into the pits as well. Amateur up in 6th. But Alfie coming out P3 is just testament to the amazing race he showed today. Someone saying they know each other from another league, that's why I brought them up. Okay, so Andre and Pipe, that gives a bit of explanation to from the Aston, I think that's the Aston Martin team principal, I'm assuming. I'm not sure who's the team principal for each team. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but Andre and Pipe know each other from another league, which very much explains their amazing teamwork together.
Yeah, they've had some incredible results, especially in Belgium when they had that really good finish. I believe it was a double podium there, but unfortunately, it was Pipe who did have some post-race penalties applied by the stewards, which dropped him down several places. I believe, unless something did happen in that race, I don't remember. I do remember one of them getting P2.
I think that was Andre. I'm not too sure now though. But these top 3 now, well, half a second or so separating the 3 of them on track. Creamy leads, Arrows in 2nd with that penalty, and Alfie out of the pits on his 2nd lap since leaving the pits, already right on the rear of them.
Yeah, I think Arrow's main goal now is just try to stay in the DRS of Creamy. He's got much older tyres though, so the gap is only getting larger. It's only a matter of time before Alfie will get past him as he's already all over the back of him, trying to get the overtake done. As he might take a look around the outside, not really much of an overtaking opportunity there, almost going into the back of him. It's really just reminding me of Big Wizard Sci-Fi Mega Hype. Don't make contact. There's side by side now. Around the outside goes Alfie. Can he make a stick? He'll have more grip, the better traction, come out of the corner. It's a clean overtake as Alfie moves into P2. This page gets a 3-second time penalty.
That has, however, given Arrow the DRS, although I don't think that makes a difference because Arrow is hardly gaining. He has a little look to the inside, decides against that, moves back in behind Alfie. He'll have that second helping of DRS now as Alfie runs wide on the exit of turn 1. But it's not going to make a difference as he will stay ahead of Arrow and he will now start chasing down Creamy.
Yeah, 5-lap, newer hard tires. You definitely want to put the pressure on Creamy now. You have 10 laps remaining. Rossi sets the fastest lap of the race in P7. Seems pretty alone out there right now, so a lot of clean air for most of the drivers out there, so could see some late pits for the soft tires in an attempt to get that fastest lap point.
Yeah, I think it's going to be either one of the Ferraris or one of the Astons who really go for it. I'm just wondering, it'll be interesting. Do either Ferrari or either Aston Martin, near the end of the race, go for the soft tyres for fastest lap? Example, Ansu just over a minute ahead of Page. So he's safely got 9th for now as Arrow is into the pits. But Ansu safely got 9th now. Does he pit a little bit later on in this race for soft tyres, for example? I mean, he's just pitted for mediums now, so it'll be unlikely. But do you think it's a possibility? As Arrows onto the hards? Interesting for 9 or so laps of this race to go.
I think it's certainly possible. I think we'll definitely see Ansu pitting near the end as Alfie does take the lead of the race from Creamy. I think he missed that there, but I do. Oh, we have a yellow flag there for the Williams of Ellis. Once again, facing the wrong way. about to get lapped by Elfie.
Yeah, he's had. I mean, Ellis, Ledgman, whatever people call him, he goes by both. Zansu has got fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 18.566 for him. So, that fastest lap point currently going the way of Ferrari.
Yeah, so he may not even have to pit for softs at the end of the race, of course. Aston Martin 3 and 4 compared to Ferrari 6 and 9. As it stands right now, I believe Aston Martin would take the lead of the championship. So the Ferraris will have to step it up a little bit. Of course, Arrow on the fresh tyres now. Going to be making a lot of moves as Ellis has stopped on the track.
I think that was just to let the Aston Martins through, but the very slow meter straight there, just letting the cars, or the top four, pass him and lap him. Which, I mean, he's not in a position where he was battling anyone, not really going to get in a battle with anyone, so fair dues to him for letting the faster cars who are lapping him through.
Yeah, disaster for Williams out there tonight. Of course, already joining late with 6 minutes to go in qualifying. And both were running last until Big Roots retired. So now they are guaranteed at least 1 point, or at least several points, I believe, in P10. It would be 8.
I'm glad you worked out, because I was about to say I'm not going to try to count back because I'll get confused.
8 for P10 and 6 for P11. So they are on for quite a few points.
Yeah. My next question. In this situation, Aston Martin currently sit 3rd and 4th. They have about 17 seconds to Arrow in behind. 15 lap old and 13 lap old tyres. Do they pit or do they try to take it to the end? Because we have been told that the hard tyres can go 20 or so laps.
For the 7 laps remaining with the 17-second gap, I think you would have to just wait it out. I think the Asamon's main concern right now will be Hamajo behind with the medium tires. 10 seconds behind, but I do think he would stay out. Of course, Arrow does still have that penalty. Ansu sets another fastest lap, but still keeps the point for Ferrari, further securing it. I think Aston Martin really just need to work together, maybe do a little bit of DRS swapping on the straights. Really just try and bring it home without any mistakes, of course, which can still be made, especially late in the race where the grip will be at its lowest.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why the words aren't coming out yet, but as you said, DRS swapping. I mean, Pipe Deck was almost a second behind entering the main straight. I think what the Aston Martins need to do here is just make it very clear to one another what they're doing. I don't know if they sit in like a disco core party or anything with one another whilst racing, but they just gotta make sure that they're very clear with each other of what they're gonna do in this for the rest of this race, to just ensure that they can stay ahead of Arrow, because all they've got to do here, even if Arrow passes, stay within 3 seconds and you beat him.
Yeah, especially how Arrow even still has Hamajo to get past. I mean, of course, by the time they'll catch up to Hamajo, he will have the better tires, so the pass would be quite easy. As who's that? That's Arrow! He's spun once again. He now falls down to Rossi to find a P7. He spun once more.
You couldn't write the script better if you tried.
He really couldn't. As the other, we have yellow flags for the other Ferrari of Ansu. They're not sure what happened there. 7 and 9.
I'm just gonna wait until the checkered flag falls to do the maths here of how many points Aston Martin will score Ferrari by. I know it's going to be a hefty amount, but I'm going to just wait until after the race because, I mean, anything can happen to anyone in this race now. So just let's not get ahead of ourselves and try going, oh well. As it stands, this is how many it outscores because
I'm gonna do the math.
I did that elsewhere when I was on co-coms for a league finale, and right as I work it out and say on stream how many points everyone's going to outscore each other by, there was a 6-car pile up, and that completely changed the championship and everything. So, you know, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I've done it before and it's gone badly, so I'm just going to let the race play out and then do a post-race.
Well, I'm going to give my findings. As it stands right now, Aston Martin would outscore Ferrari by exactly 15 points, leading them to be equal on points. However, because Ferrari have 2 wins, Ferrari would win the championship. Aston Martin have no P1 finishes this season. So if it ends like this, Ferrari win on countback.
That is very interesting.
Certainly.
Yes, that's certainly interesting.
So if Aston Martin
is about to get ahead of Rossi as well, they both have penalties, so that's not going to play into effect. Well, let's just see how this race goes for the rest of it now.
Yeah, the only hope Aston Martin have now. Oh, we have yellow flags for the Williams once again. As I was saying, the only hope Aston Martins have is if the Ferraris continue to struggle as Rossi gets another 3-second penalty, so Aru won't be worried about keeping the position. So as of right now, advantage to Ferrari. Aston Martin can't do much. They can't really catch up with Creamy due to their tyre disadvantage. Ferrari have it all to lose.
They certainly do, and well, especially today, yes, there's been the mistakes from the Ferrari cars, there's been the unfortune from the Ferraris, but we can't deny Aston Martin have had a brilliant race today to sit 3rd and 4th, and I mean, no matter how it ends, the belief... As Arrow spun it again!
No way!
As he's got wing damage as well! That is another spanner being thrown in the works, as Arrow on the exit of the final corner has just lost his under traction and he's hit that wall on the right hand side as he looks at the left hand side as we look at it. He's got wing damage. He's about 6 seconds behind Rossi. How many seconds of penalties does Arrow have? Okay, he only has 3 seconds. But depending on how that end plate damage handles for him, Sci-Fi Mega Hype, if he puts his foot down a little bit, could try and get within the penalty window.
Yeah, but as it stands right now, Ellis has pitted for soft tire. He might try to take the fastest lap away. I didn't even
Arrow's done it again.
Oh no. I didn't even consider the fastest lap. Currently Ansu was the fastest lap point, which would mean Ferrari would win the championship by a point. The Sci-Fi Mega Hype currently behind Arrow now due to the 2 spins there. Now trying to take the position. If he does take the position, that would put Aston Martin at the point advantage.
This is... I mean, did you count Ferrari getting fastest lap point? I think you did you not? And all that? Before when you were doing the maths?
When I was doing it before, no, but so if it finishes like this, Ferrari would still win by a singular point thanks to the fastest lap. But who's that? That's Alfie! He's gone off there. Manages to get back on the track. May have struggled a bit with the back markers.
Certainly has. Just gonna sit on board with Sci-Fi Mega Hype, as this is the gap between him and Arrow is what we want to keep an eye on. Currently 2.3 or 2.2 seconds. He needs to stay within 3 seconds to jump Arrow at the end of the race, albeit he doesn't get a penalty himself. So Ooh, was a little bit of a moment for him, but not losing too much time. As well, you can almost feel the tension in the air in this race now.
They really can. I don't think the drivers actually know what's at stake right now, how close it really is. They're just focusing on trying to finish as far ahead as they can. Arrow going incredibly
Ooh.
wide. It's really struggling, really desperate to try catch up to Rossi.
Definitely is, as well, penultimate lap now for the leaders, and they're closing in towards the last lap. Sci-Fi Meg Hype is out of that 3-second gap now to Arrow. As things stand, I've just done the maths. Yeah, Ferrari will win the championship by a point as things stand. If Ellis takes fastest lap, Ferrari does win it on countback, and as Aston Martin team principal said, when you said that before, fair play if it ends like that. As Arrow, another 3-second time penalty though.
That's going to bring Sci-Fi Mega Hype in. If he can stay within that window, he'll take the position from Arrow. That will lead to Aston Martin winning the championship.
Aston Martin, if that happens, will win it. Actually,
No, that would lead them.
Arrow will drop 1 point. Currently, Ferrari lead by a point. For Aston Martin to win, Aston Martin needs Sci-Fi Mega Hype to finish ahead of Arrow now, and Ellis to take fastest lap of the race. Which currently Ellis is 0.4 of a second away from. I am gonna open up lap data so we can just have a look at Ellis 2.3 seconds down, but he has a full battery to go at it for one last lap. And this is going to be interesting to see now. Everything is on the line in this championship now. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Sci-Fi Mega Hype. He's got 5 tenths roughly to play with, as he's Arrow's just putting his foot down and trying to pull away now. But Alfie, your season 7 champion, is going to cross the line to win the final race of the season. The final race in these regulations of cars. Alfie wins in Hungary. Creamy finishes second. Andre and Pipetech will finish third and fourth. And now they've just got to wait to see what else happens elsewhere on the track, as Sci-Fi Mega Hype is over 6 seconds behind Arrow now.
Yeah, Simone have done absolutely everything in their power. They've done everything they can, but will it be enough? Everything's going to come down to this.
As Ledgman is 6 tenths down on his personal best. Hamajo finishes in 5th. Rossi finishes in 6th. Page finishes in 10th. Arrow is going to come round the final corner now. And he's about 6 or so tenths ahead. So Arrow finishes in 7th. Sci-Fi Mega Hype's tyres just looked to fell off at the end there. He finishes, after all of that, a second behind Arrow. Ansu will come round to finish in 9th. And now we just wait on Ellis now. Will it be Ferrari winning by a singular point, or will they win based on countback as he's 1.2 down, and Ferrari will look to have won the championship by a point? A singular point. That was a lot closer at the end of the season than I thought it would be.
All down to the final race with the smallest margins. By 1 point, it's Ferrari to win the Tier 3 Constructors' Championship. Arrow leading the way the entire season, Ansu close behind. It's been a stellar season for both championships. I'm not mad that we called it 4 races early.
Certainly has. I think if we did them extra 4 races, I don't think it'll be that good. I honestly think, obviously some people will be going, oh well, you could have done the extra 4 races, just finish off the season on those regulations. So I honestly think, wholeheartedly think, that this was a better end to the season. Obviously, heartbreak for Aston Martin finishing a point behind, But huge, huge credit to the Aston Martin drivers for giving it their everything every round of the season to win, or to attempt to win the constructors title, and that cannot be downplayed.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually message both of them in a minute and say, congratulations on giving it your everything.
Yeah, it was Aston Martin, really a great team this season to watch. They did the absolute most they could. Just wasn't enough to beat Ferrari. They are going to be devastated. Ferrari are going to be absolutely amazed by what they've done. Of course, we do still have post-race penalties which could possibly be applied, but until then, it's Ferrari as your champions. And the drivers, it's Alfie who wins the race to win the Drivers' Championship. Big Woods, not the end he would have wanted.
No, definitely not. It's just looking at the results page here. Hamajo, exactly 28 seconds behind Alfie at the end of that. That's probably the most impressive thing all night along Ireland here. Just ignore the fact that we've just named 2 champions. 28 seconds on the dot. That's impressive.
This is what
I get so distracted with small things like that.
We're here to see you.
This is all we care about.
We care about the zeros.
It's likely it's just a great drive from the Aston Martin team. It certainly was. Great drive from everyone in that race. Obviously, as a driver, you're not doing the live maths in your head. You're just relying on doing whatever you can. But yeah, that is how we've ended off the season. I don't know when the new season starts, but we'll be back next season. There's still 2 more races this season. Tier 2 tomorrow, Tier 1 on Sunday. Hope you guys tune in to have a look at how their races go. But from us in Tier 3, have a good off season, and we look forward to seeing you back next season for more amazing racing here in WHF. Goodbye, everyone.